Hey everyone, Wonton back here to bring you another tournament match, this time as Whitebeard versus a Kinemon. He won the high roll, so he chose to go second, since both decks do want to go second. Whitebeard because you get that extra card and you start taking your own life one turn later. And Kinemon because going second they can cheat out Okiku turn 1 and Yamato on turn 2. And that is what makes the deck so strong. Sometimes that early game is just so backbreaking for a lot of decks. And here we just quickly show what hands we're keeping for the game. He decides to keep the Odin because I believe that Odin is pretty strong against Whitebeard. And he has the Bonnie and Momo as well, so that's a pretty solid early game, even though he didn't have an Okiku or a Yamato or anything. I chose to keep my hand because it seemed like a decent enough hand, and I could definitely do a lot worse. I did get 2 Admirals and a Chopper, so I'll have something to play early. And so here we get started, and I just play Chopper turn 1. And he just drops the Momo there. Probably fishing for something early to play, something like Okiku or Yamato, something he can play next turn. And there's the Yamato. But I was talking about the Secret Rare Yamato, the 5-drop. And this is one of my favorite things about playing Whitebeard is that base 6,000 power. It just feels so good early game. You take a swing and they're probably not going to defend it because they do need to commit 2,000 to block it. Here I top deck the Vista, cleanly get rid of the Momo. I think this is a great card. He has a strong early game effect, and with Moby Dick later in the game, he becomes a neutral 5k attacker. Here he uses Yamato just to swing and get rid of my Chopper, getting rid of my blockers early, which are really important for me, especially late game when I'm down to like 1 or 0 lives. And again, the 6,000 power means he can't swing at me that first turn without committing 1 Dawn. So I'm just playing on a curve here, just taking a swing and playing the 4 and 1 drop. You're going to notice I sped up this part here, and I'm going to do that a few times this match just because we took a lot of time deciding what we're going to do on our turn, and I figured I'd just save us all some time. Here he's taking some swings at my leader, making me either use up some cards in my hand or take some life damage. As Whitebeard, I do typically like to defend kind of aggressively. And so when I can, it doesn't cost me too much, I will try to counter to protect my life total. I think Raizo is a great card in this matchup because I'm sort of in a rush to try to swing as many times at my opponent's face as possible because I am on a clock. Raizo represents something that I do have to swing into, otherwise I get too much value from the card draw. So here I try to use Ace as a sort of removal by getting Yamato low enough that it wouldn't be easy to defend him. I think this was the safer play, just clearing his board up and helping me prepare for my late game push. I did get a bit greedy here. I saw that he had 2 active Dawn, and I was hoping he didn't have a Punk Gibson in hand. Maybe it was Paradise Waterfalls, or he was bluffing, or he wouldn't use it to defend the Ace, but it cost my Atmos an attack. I was hoping that Ace could finish off Yamato, or at least get rid of the blocker, and then Atmos can go for another swing or go for face here. Here I use the Vista to try to swing at the Yamato again as well. And he successfully defended this Yamato, even after my leader attack. So now it got me thinking maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I should have just ignored it, go face. Since this Yamato did basically just absorb an entire turn of attacks. Here I am trying to protect my board as well now, just for the upcoming turns. I'm gonna need as strong of a board as possible in case I do get a Moby Dick. He does a very good job clearing my board here and making me use up my resources as well. Maybe I should have let that Atmos go as well, just save the chopper for my own life. And here I'm just debating how much Dawn I should use to get rid of Yamato here. I've already committed to the game plan of clearing his board last turn and not swing for face, and so at this point it would just be detrimental to suddenly 180 and switch strategies here. I think it's better to just commit to a suboptimal play rather than try to like do a little bit of both and hedge your bets. And so I fully commit here into getting rid of his board, attacking into his 2 wrestling characters, and then playing the Squad and the Seaquake here. And then just Chopper and leaving up 2 active Dawn just to fill out my curve here and offer me a little bit of protection. And then after much debating, he decides to force my hand by dropping the Odin and the Okiku. With these two on board, Okiku rests the Chopper and Odin can swing twice, so he threatens lethal on the board here. And here you can see how long it took me to figure out what my outs were, and I eventually realized my only out was to try to end the game here using Moby Dick and swinging for face, and just hoping that he does not have any counters in hand, because he only needs 1 to successfully ward off my attack. I did have a Jozu in hand, so I had exactly 4 attacks. And it was unfortunate he did have the 2 Apus here, and even though it signals that he doesn't have a 1000 blocker because he needed 9000 to counter 7000, it didn't matter in the end because he only needed to block 1 attack, and he pretty much had game. And so here I may as well just keep going and hope for the best, hope for maybe a misplay by him. And you're in a dire situation when your only out is to hope that your opponent misplays. Which is funny because he actually plays super well this match, and he makes his first misplay here where he miscalculates how much life, how much power Whitebeard is at, and so that was an easy guard point defense, and then he miscalculates again here, which made it an easy radical beam defense, but it didn't matter in the end because he had me. He could just restand his Odin and his leader can still swing. And so for the 2nd week in a row, I fall just short in the finals and wasn't able to close it out. Congratulations though to my opponent for claiming first. He played it very well, he deserved it. Hopefully I play better next week and I win it all. And that's it for me, everyone. If you like this type of content, please consider liking the video or subscribing to the channel. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Until next time, I'll talk to you guys later.